Yo, 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 what's that word? This is 312 in the podcast. I am your host, Brodrick. Episode 27 going to be a very special episode. Looking forward to it. Just chopping it up with some longtime friends, but professionals. I can't give them their just due, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves. First, we're going to start off with my boy.
RIP, what's good? How y'all doing? Representing a passion, XNVIX, musician, artist, all that and above. It's good, y'all folk.
That's it?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm John Georges, co-host of 3Geeks'N'APod, co-host of Failed Attempts, presented by 3Geeks'N'APod, which is coming soon. Sometime pop culture writer for upyourgeek.com. Check those articles out, they're still up. Yeah. Talk pop culture shit, movies, and have a good time. Check out my show.
Well,
We're here to have a good time with the rockster.
That's right. The boy.
Now, we usually have a topic we focus on and stuff like that, but here we're just going to spitball a couple of things, but still give y'all the good. So, without further ado, what is something you want to talk about today, brother?
Let's jump into it. Honestly, so we got to talk the finals. The finals is on right now. NBA finals. My team is in the finals.
What?
Miami Heat is in the finals.
Yeah.
You know that's my team.
Yeah,
you know I love the Miami Heat. You know how I feel about the Miami Heat.
Were you crying, my boy?
I was crying.
A little bit because I was hating on them all year, but go ahead.
He was crying for different reasons. I was crying because it's like, you know, when you finally get that finish line, like Drake said, you know, you just gotta have a warrior spirit. This was beautiful to see. An 8th seed.
I'm not gonna lie. Everything I've heard so far about the NBA, the Miami Heat, they're not supposed to be where they're at right now.
That's what they say. That's what they say. But don't listen to
That's
non-believers.
what I've heard.
We don't listen to non-believers. We listen to ourselves. 8th seed going all the way to the finals. So we seen game 1. Yeah, we lost game 1. I know everybody getting scared. I'm not terrified. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not scared. I can tell you a bunch of reasons why I'm not scared. You wanna know why I'm not scared? Who we lose by? You the expert. Who we lose by?
Was it about 10 or 11
We
points?
lose by 10 or 11 points.
Yeah, it wasn't that far of a
Okay,
deficit.
let me got
I'm not
something for
gonna
y'all
lie.
because I had something ready. Give me a second, y'all. It don't take me but a second, y'all. I had something ready.
He was prepared
I was
for it.
prepared.
Yeah, the deficit itself wasn't that big.
Wasn't that crazy? Now we lose by 10 points.
But
We
I
lose
also
by 10
like.
points. Let me give y'all some stats. Okay? Usually it's the stat guy, but today I'm the stat guy. Today I'm the stat guy. Caleb Martin. We got Caleb Martin 1 for 7. We got Max Strus 0 for 10. 0 for 10. 0 for 10. I love you, Max Strus, but don't ever do that to me again. Let me see. Duncan Robinson 1 for 6.
The thing about this though is
Wait.
when you rely on these dudes the whole year, they came alive in the playoffs, but
And we're
now
gonna come alive again. Don't worry about that. Hold on.
they're
what I'm
now
saying is,
maybe regressing to the mean.
no, you
is
said
the
that
point.
last. You said that last series. You said that last
You
series.
think
You're
they
wrong.
played all? You
No.
think they played it all out? You think
No.
they got like not that
I'm
much
gonna let him
stuff
make his
inside?
point because I want to see what he has to say.
It's
about
one
this.
game. It's one game. We played a game. It wasn't at home. They had home court advantage. They beat us by 10 points in one of our worst shooting nights from some key players from our team. So I'm not concerned. We only lose by 10 points. A few of those shots go in that could make a difference.
But here's another question because I was only able to catch like half the game for that one. Weren't they actually causing these boys to do them shots? Like
No,
these
there was some.
these shots might not. These shots.
We missed
some
some.
of them.
They were playing great defense. I'm not gonna say here and say.
I'm
that
gonna say like some of
the
these
Denver
shots were
Nuggets are
forced.
great. The Denver Nuggets are great, but I'm not gonna say. Come on, they play great defense, but we're missing wide open shots. We missed some wide open shots there.
I did see a couple wide ones.
but the
that
last-
were,
Jimmy
the
was
last-
setting them up. Jimmy was setting them up, and they could not deliver.
But the last 2 games they weren't shooting great. I mean, Caleb Martin was, but those other guys weren't coming through. Like they've been struggling. Duncan Robinson is almost the reason the Celtics win the game 7. I'm talking about in game 6. He missed those last 2 critical shots at the end, 2 or 3 in the last 4 minutes. It went to a game 7. Of course,
Duncan
the Heat
Robinson is
prevailed.
great. He's gonna come through. We believe in our players. Heat Nation.
all I gotta say.
But that doesn't mean we have to though.
You don't have to believe in.
There's hope in
We
the
can-
air. That's all I gotta say because them boys have made it, bro. Like,
But what hope is it?
I don't know, bro. It made them get to the finals.
Heat is gonna be the first team to win fully based on heart.
I'm not buying
right.
it. I'm not buying it at all.
Jimmy Butler got that talk no jutsu.
I'm not buying
Talk
it.
no
Of
jutsu.
course, my team didn't make it to the finals. The
Yeah, we
Lakers.
know they did.
Shout out Laker Nation out there. We didn't make it, but comeback king. We might have a little bit on that a little later. But at the same time, we didn't make it. But I did get an up close and personal viewpoint on the Denver Nuggets. So I'm not surprised how game 1 went. Although the Heat only lost by 10 points, the entire game they were losing by double digits. They made a last-ditch comeback at the end, as we know the Heat are going to do, because they're a resilient team. That can't be disputed. You got to give them their credit where credit is due. But at the same time, they haven't faced a team of this caliber that's not going to have those huge hills and valleys. They're going to play consistent, and even if they get off rhythm for a little bit, they're so
You don't think the
thorough.
other teams were? You don't think the other teams were like set up pretty much? Like you don't think the other teams are like fully built for that?
Every
Phoenix
level
Suns,
that we've been on, every level that the Heat has been on, is all I'm gonna say. Every level the Heat has been on, they have exceeded expectations. They not expected to get out the first round. They're not expected to get out the second round. They weren't expected to get out the Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm not gonna lie.
So I'm not gonna count the Heat out. They have a chance as long as they got Jimmy Butler. They got a chance.
But we also can't ignore this. And again, I'm a self-proclaimed Heat hater. Think about this. First round, Giannis was hurt. Second round, New York Knicks. Nothing else need to be said. But Julius Randle was clearly hurt. He just had surgeries today. So he was playing hurt.
Okay,
Third round, first minute, Jason Tatum hurt his foot.
Right.
He's going up against a fully healthy, well, they're going up against a fully healthy team.
Who's going up against a fully healthy team? Oh, I thought you were saying they were going up against us and we were fully healthy. I'm like, we were not fully healthy. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Like the Heat was like.
Well, they don't have Tyler Hero.
I was gonna say y'all still missing the boy.
Tyler Hero, Victor Oladipo. Jimmy's been dealing with some injuries, some knick-knack injuries. Like,
aren't them your hitters?
But that's just that's another reason why I don't think they're going to be successful as well.
Hey man, see, listen.
Tyler might be back in the third game.
That was in doubt. I want you to do a show.
Tyler?
Right, he might be get back for game 3.
Oh,
but I tell you what, I like what Draymond.
We'll see.
I watched Draymond Green's podcast. I like what he had to say on that about Tyler Hero. Like, if you win, like for instance, if you lose 2 games, in a row, then you insert Tyler Hero. If you win, if it's because he's like, then you try to mix something up. You tried everything, it's like trying to mix something up for game 3. But if you win one in Denver, don't mix anything up because these guys got a good rhythm. The guys that have been playing, he's been out of the rotation. He can't just throw him back in there because I mean Tyler Hero in the regular season, he took the most shots for the Miami Heat. You guys can look that up. He took the most shots for the Miami Heat. He was the primary shot taker. So like him being hurt is like actually like a big thing.
But this is another point why I think that the Nuggets are so deadly because you have to play up to their level. Like sure the Heat can mix it up, but I don't think the Nuggets will have to adjust as much because they're so thorough at what they do. Like they got good coaching. They had a superstar player, 2-time MVP, Nikola Jokic, y'all know. Jamal Murray been playing out of his mind. We know.
Okay.
I think we can admit at this point there is a such thing as playoff Jamal Murray. He definitely raises his game to damn near a top 10 player status in the NBA in the playoffs. So we're gonna see how they go.
Okay, but let's say this: they might have they're the top 2 players in the series, correct?
No.
You wouldn't say that?
I put Jimmy too.
Okay, oh definitely. Jimmy better than Jimmy, but I'll put Jimmy over your boy.
Yeah, because he plays both ends.
Yeah.
But Jamal's
Jamal up there.
Yeah,
Jamal up there. So
definitely.
okay, but still they got the best player in the series in Jokic, right?
Definitely.
Okay, fine. But player can't win a series alone. I feel like now they got a great team. They have a great team. But I feel like we have the better coach. I like Malone.
I agree.
But I feel like we had the better.
I think Spo's the best coach in the league. Yeah.
He's the best. Easily. I'm like, bro, I don't understand why this man never won a coach of the year award. Straight up robbery right there. He never won coach of the year. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is 6 finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
who knows how they end my year? I mean, like how the year might end.
Well, somebody already won this year.
Who won it this year? I'm not even 100% sure on that.
Somebody that got fired.
What?
Yeah, was it Monty?
Was it Monty? Yeah.
I'm not 100%. Y'all let me know in the comments who was NBA Coach of the Year. But you know how the NBA worked. Pretty sure it was somebody that got fired. Kind of like Dwayne Casey a couple years ago. Got fired from the Raptors after being Coach of the Year.
Well, they did bounce back off of that with Nick Nurse and they get that championship.
Yeah, like he got fired too.
Mike,
shout out to him being hired by the 76ers.
Mike Brown was Coach of the Year.
Kings, Sacramento. Kings. Hey, they deserved it. Kings getting to the finals, Game 7 against defending champs. Yeah, he deserved it.
I did hear good things about the Kings actually.
Yeah, he played really well this year. For sure. But speaking of stuff,
speaking of the King.
Yeah, speaking of the King, man, we got to discuss this. First, before we say anything, please, LeBron, come back. I wish I had on some Jordans Because I'll be like fucking Scottie Pippen to the camera right now when he was begging Jordan to come back. Please don't retire. I know you're
Scotty,
not.
real quick, let me sidebar. Scotty, stop all that disrespectful stuff about Mike. We don't like to see that. Okay? We don't like to see that. Okay, cut that out.
You're not saying we. I love it, Scotty. Speak your truth.
Speak
He's
your
a
mind.
grown man.
Whatever you
You
decide
know what
to
you were
speak.
talking about.
Better than that, Scotty.
Whatever you decide to speak.
Better than that. That sucker stuff. But I ain't gonna get into all that.
But yeah, we do got to talk a little bit about, you know, the King's recent teases that he might retire. I hate to say it. That sounds disgusting. And I'll let these guys go first because I'm just very emotional.
Give me my opinion.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know about this news.
You didn't know about LeBron teasing his retirement?
No, I did not actually.
Okay, let me just tell you right
It
now.
kind of makes sense in my
Can I
head.
say
You know,
something?
man has like a nice little run.
I hate to say it like this. Can I look in the camera and say something? This is bullshit. LeBron is looking for attention. LeBron got swept out of the playoffs. He's 38 years old. He's an amazing player still. Possibly still a top 10 player. But the truth of the matter is, he got swept
Possibly
Possibly
a top 10
he's
player.
Possibly a top
Nah,
10 player.
he
What?
definitely in the top
Possibly a
five.
top-
Absolutely a top 10 player. But yeah, go ahead.
Possibly, okay, fine. He's top 10. He's a top 10 player still. But he got swept about the playoffs. He's 30 years old. It's fine. He's 38 years old. It's fine. I don't hold that against LeBron. Like, if I feel like people were killing LeBron, like they were killing him, man, he got swept out of the playoffs. Like, this is insane.
But
And
this
then-
how you know,
But wait,
you know,
I feel like-
they only hold him to these standards.
That's
If you
true.
look at his
That's true.
numbers, they're tops in the league impressive
His
as far as
numbers are
playoff
scary,
performance.
bro.
Like,
I agree with you on
His
that.
numbers are like
But
proof
it's like,
of
we know
everything.
that LeBron likes to control. We know that LeBron likes to
But
control
no one
the
gives him
narrative.
the stuff,
And the narrative right now, the narrative was that LeBron got swept. That, you know,
That's the narrative.
that's the truth. It wasn't even the narrative.
I
It
was
was the
gonna say,
truth.
like,
So
yeah, that
LeBron
one he
creates
has to-
the narrative that he might walk away from the game. When it's like just a few months ago, even though he has sort of walked back on this a little bit, just a few months ago, he's saying like he wants to play with his son and stuff like that. I just think LeBron wants to control the narrative. He wants to keep his name in the talk. Plus, I'm just totally speculating here. I have no proof of this whatsoever. But I think this guy actually could have something to do with the NBA itself. I think that maybe the commissioner and some other people involved in the NBA might even be telling LeBron to do this stuff. Because, like you were saying, LeBron is the biggest face in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's not in the finals right now. He's out of the playoffs right now. People don't expect this to be one of the most watched finals. If it was a LeBron Curry, event, something like that, people would be way more into it. So, like, how do you keep LeBron still involved? How does ESPN still keep talking about him? Okay, LeBron, drop a little tweet. Say you might retire.
you know what can be
I can
another
see that.
angle on this?
I
If
can
he's
see that.
making this point, like if we're talking about like LeBron controlling the narrative, it could be about how LeBron teases his retirement. We know what's going on in the background with the Ja Morant situation. And this is an ugly situation for the league. Like one of the faces of one of your best young teams getting caught on camera
They
with
want
a gun.
him to be the face of the league.
Right. So you can't have that type of situation being the main headline. So of course, quite possibly the greatest player of all time teasing retirement is going to overshadow everything. Even though we know the league, well, they're reporting that the league is going to drop the hammer on Ja and the Grizzlies. What you want to say about LeBron, buddy?
I forgot. I was just not remembering the John Morant thing. Like, yeah, that bitch.
How do you feel about, like, do you think, because you're an artist, so who do you think should be blamed in that last Ja Morant video where his homeboy was on live? Ja clearly saw he was on live, but he still chose to pull out a gun. Do you think that, you know, how do you feel about that situation?
That to me was kind of it. It's some bullshit, I believe, because he looked at the camera and then he reached.
Yeah.
And that's the part. Like, if he was already like,
So
you
you're
know,
saying it's bullshit in the sense he has no excuses? Or?
he I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know if his homeboy was just like doing the video and he didn't know it was on IG, probably like a personal, you know, like this is just the homies video. We got a couple of them, you know what I mean? Like we just.
But this
bullying
is
with the
like
homie.
second incident getting
But like
caught on IG.
Yeah, I know. Like, and that's why I say it's bullshit. Cause like, bro, you can't be fucking up the bag right now, bro.
No.
Big
like,
bag.
like
We're
you
not
can't be
talking
fucking up
bag
the
is already
bag
in,
right now,
future
bro.
bag.
Like you low key just set up your whole entire family, and look, you're about to possibly lose it, and like you might have to struggle and fight to get everything back, and you might not be at the top.
There's really not. There's really
And
no
there
get
might not
back.
be like
You're not gonna be able to
exactly there
beat
might not be a chance to
that
get back.
clean-cut
And like
kid anymore.
the problem I definitely saw in the aspect of the video is because like I saw two videos of it. There was like a short version of it, and then I saw the full on long version of it.
Right.
Because I had to go hunting, bro. Because like he just got recently caught on IG doing some stupid shit. I mean, doing that I would say.
Right.
And then when I was looking at the video, they're cranking, they crunk, they vibing. Okay, cool. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, Job made eye contact with the camera, and next thing out of nowhere, He
Pulls
reached
out
out. He done hit one of these from somewhere. He put his hand down. And then I want to say the homie was probably trying to look out for Jogn because it looked like he was trying to cut it off real quick. Like because when he saw it, he's like, "Oh no!" And then from there,
do you still feel? Because I mean, he's young, but do you think he still has that excuse at this point? Like he's young, he's only in his third year in the league.
Even if you're young, I understand the aspect of young. I understand.
Kids as adults in these courtrooms in America.
That is true. That's another thing that America. That's another thing that America does in itself. But but the problem with this is he said he wouldn't do it again.
Right.
So you kind of like you. That's why I say it's dumb. Like if you didn't say you wouldn't do it again and you did it again, okay, you know what I mean? Like I didn't mean that, but like you just literally told the man, all right, I apologize. I understand my wrong. I understand what I did. I won't do it again, or like like this, that, and the third, and you're right back out doing it again, bro. It's like.
And
hey man,
that's why I think the league is gonna drop the hammer because you have to send a message with this.
Yeah. You really do because you kind of fucking with everybody's money now. Everybody in the league now has to be looked differently now.
Investment.
And I think they have to. Another reason is because we all know what happened with Gilbert Arenas. We know that brung guns in the locker room and all this other type of stuff. So you guys can keep speaking.
Oh, okay.
Technical adjustments real quick.
Let it stop.
Everything's fine.
Oh, okay. But nah, for that one, that situation itself it was like, don't say you won't do it and then end up doing it. That's the only thing.
Shortly after.
Like that's my only like.
First of all, speaking of that,
do you think it was really from ChatGPT?
Absolutely. Also, one more thing, just real quick, sidebar. Okay, support the writers' strike, pay the writers, fuck AI. That's all I got to say on that.
I agree with that.
But go ahead.
Strongly agree with that.
I feel you on that. Well, I mean, do you guys think 40 games would be too excessive?
No, because I think you have to send a clear message.
Like to spend him 40 games?
Yeah. Out of 82.
Half the season.
You got to drop the hammer, man. When he's already been given a chance.
And we know suspensions come without pay, so he's gonna lose a lot of money.
He already lost a Nike endorsement.
I'm talking $20 million.
Like, did he not?
Yeah. I'm not sure, but
I thought Nike took off his shoes.
They said no shoes. The shoes sold out.
The
shoes sold out. So there's not.
Oh yeah. Never mind. Nike did take them out, then they brought them back, then they sold immediately. But then again, they sold because they're gonna be. When's the next time you're gonna get a John Morant shoe?
Popping like this. His name's popping right
like
now.
when them shoes are collectibles now, bro.
Right.
Them shoes are literally collectibles now.
That's a good point too.
I don't think they're good. Did they drop him?
I don't
know if they dropped him from the team.
I don't know if it's a good idea to drop the guy yet. I mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, he done some.
They're not.
It isn't terrible, but I mean,
it's in talk. It's in talk. They didn't drop him. Nike didn't drop him, but it's in talk, and his shoes aren't on the his shoes weren't on the app at that point in time. I don't know if anything has changed up until now, but I do remember that when the situation was going down, Nike was like, "Nah, cuz we just gonna hold these right here."
Maybe we can talk 40 games though, and even more though, because when I think about it, it's like. Everybody goes, okay, well, he had a gun. And it's like, well, you're allowed to have a gun, and he's constitutional right. It's like, okay, you can have your constitutional right, but I know someone who has a gun. I know someone personally who has a gun, and she always tells me about, like, it's not necessarily just about, like, having the gun. It's about learning how to control it, like learning the gun safety, like, going to the range, understanding the weapon, that it is a weapon, that it's not a toy. This kid doesn't seem like he understands that he's holding something in his hands that could take the life of the people that he's dancing with right next to him. He could be dancing that thing. He could hurt himself. He could hurt them. So I just don't think he sees or understands the importance of how dangerous the situations that he puts himself are in. And I think he needs this punishment to learn that lesson.
And at the same time, I think it should be around 40 games because most casual fans don't start watching the NBA until around Christmas. So that is around 25 games. Like, we need to know, like, okay, damn, watching the Grizzlies, where's Ja? Like, we need to see, like, what's the situation. Obviously, Dylan Brooks isn't going to be back under any circumstances per the Grizzlies GM, even though he was only talking shit. We got people up in pipes. But anyways,
right?
I mean,
I think they were trying to throw Dylan under the bus for that whole shit.
Yeah.
Like, for the behavior of the team, and then he's like, and then Ja fucks it up the next week.
Yeah, they basically had, like, Dylan pulled out the gun or handed it to Ja. Go ahead and put this on camera.
I don't know if you guys ever watch Power. I talk TV, right? But I ever watch Power. They're trying to set up Dre, and then Tasha sets up Kanan instead. He's like, "Yo, I was gonna set up Dre." Like, yo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got to see what happens with the Jogn and everything, man. But that's after the season, after the finals. We're gonna get that.
Right.
So after the finals, we gotta get into this.
Yeah.
Unc is leaving. Shannon Sharp
Yeah.
is leaving FS1 Fox. He's leaving Undisputed. This man has given us so many great moments over the years. So many great moments. Him and Skip both. Like, let's not leave out Skip, like, with because that's like peanut butter and jelly right there. They're such a great tandem. Like, so many great moments. Skip, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the GOAT Maz.
I personally think myself, like, Shannon is so good for this internet age. Yeah. Like, that's boosted up his popularity.
You can capture so much of his personality in such a small moment.
Right, right. And, of course, that's what's popping, the shorts and things of that nature. Right. So you're going to see him all the time. And he's active on social media. Club Say is a hit success. That's been really cool watching, like, what he's done in the variety.
Taking that, so that's a podcast, but it's filmed and it's actually it's shown on FS1. Yeah. And he's taking that with him, apparently. Right. The reports are saying.
Oh.
Where'd you like to see him do next?
I can't really, speak too much on that one aspect, but truthfully, he already has his own podcast, so I probably want to see this man branch out solo.
Yeah, I want to see him do that, more of that for a while before he jumps into, obviously I would like to see him do guest spots. Because I was watching Stephen A's show and he was saying, he wants to have...
The man could probably really hold, he probably... From his popularity, from what I hear,
he can have his own show.
He can have his own huge. He has his own show already, right?
He has his own podcast.
He has his own podcast. But I feel as if he can have his own show. He has a big enough following, possibly at this very current moment, where he can do something like that. So who knows what type of contracts might be floating around that we don't even know about yet.
True.
Yeah, different offers and everything like that.
Yeah, because remember, these are all businessmen, so who knows how far they're really planned out.
We know he's going to, because from Stephen A. Smith's show, we know he's going to appear on Stephen A. Smith's podcast, and then Stephen A. Smith is going to appear on his podcast. So they're already working together in that regard. But
do you think there's something to them waiting so? There's a short period of time from us finding out, because what was it, yesterday or a couple of days ago?
I think that means
June 1st, and then it's right after the finals, which is the end of this month. I think that
means that this decision was made
long ago.
Probably when everybody's speculating with the DeMar Hamlin incident.
Right.
I think this does seem like something.
But why wait so long to announce it?
More to the because
it's so abrupt.
It's because that's how you do things. Because the network has their own rollout ideas. It's kind of when Angela Yee left Breakfast Club. They knew about that a year before we did.
Have they said are they just gonna go off the air Undisputed, or Skip gonna rock it by itself? Or?
Maybe Skip will have some guest hosts. Something they said Skip has complete control over who will be the next guest host.
As he should.
As he should. He's earned the right.
Yeah.
He's earned the right. Skip is Skip, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of devastating. That was news whoa, because you see their chemistry so well. It's all right.
And but despite sometimes listen, I'm shameless to promote myself a little bit here. I obviously have a podcast. We talk about film and television. When we started out, it looked a bit differently than it looks now. We had a different, an additional co-host to the one we have now, and sometimes it's you work better as friends and as colleagues, or friends rather than colleagues or co-workers, and sometimes that's just how that works. So I hope that Skip and Shannon, because Skip, as Shannon always says, Skip put him on. That's an important thing in this business and entertainment world. Some of the person that puts you on, you always got to have respect for. So I hope they can salvage that friendship and that relationship. Hopefully that's not lost.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I feel let me ask you something crazy, man. If you could have anybody, it could be in sports, movies, any type of entertainment. When Dave Chappelle was just on somebody's album, he was hosting it or something like that?
Yeah.
Who would you want to host your upcoming project?
Dope.
If I had a chance, do they have to still be alive?
Yeah, they got to be alive.
Okay.
They got to be alive.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, they got to be alive.
That one's gonna be hard, bro. I don't know. Actually, that one would be kind of hard. That one would be kind of hard because I'm thinking about my style and I'm trying to see who would perfectly fit that. And I like to do some weird, wild stuff. I'll put Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather?
I would.
I think Floyd is a great shit talker, and I think your next tape is the Rage tape, correct?
Pretty much.
Can you say a little bit about that?
For my rage tape, it's gonna be something like completely different than what I've been dropping singles through this whole entire year, and I got like another one coming up soon. Just dropped www like 2 weeks back with Tope, my boy, and so like I'm gonna give you guys a whole bunch of different tastes in music, and then I'm gonna show you like my inner rage child, the one that likes to break things, the one that likes to like be rambunctious and like loud and not be told to turn down or like be quiet or anything like that. So that's what this tape was going for. So it's definitely like one of those like.
I definitely think Floyd fits that too. With all due respect, I don't like talking shit about people who can knock me out, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I would probably pick him because like sometimes it's not what exactly he says, it's how he says it and what he's doing. Because like this, can you deny that man's work ethic? Like
true.
And like that, people with that type of work ethic, their sayings to you become different because like they really mean this. Like this is what they bleed into
their lifestyle.
The impact of their words, changes once you see the after effect of their actions.
Exactly. So like I'll probably I would say that I'll probably stick to that truthfully.
That's what's up.
Like, and it'll be completely out of pocket. Like no one would see me do that with him, especially on something like this.
For sure. How much do you think he asked for?
Oh no, that's a pretty little penny, boy. that's a dime, boy. That's probably
more than you have.
More than I have. Yes. Let's not talk about.
It's okay, man. It's all right. But hell yeah, man. What's a guest that you would like to have on your podcast if you could have one? And they have to be alive.
In the
on you guys' next podcast, what is it gonna be? What's the topics gonna be?
Well, the next podcast, we do this thing on 3Geeks'N'APod called the retro review, where you watch an older movie, kind of go back in time and watch an older movie and review it and talk about what worked in it, what didn't work in it, things we like about it, and how it relates to maybe something that we're watching today. In this time in particular, that we got the retro review coming. We got Fast and Furious 5 we're doing a retro review of.
Ooh.
Because Fast X just came out.
Ooh. Going halfway back.
All of it's ridiculous. And because those movies literally connect. Those movies,
they do.
Those movies literally connect because Fast 10 is apparently, it's the story literally correlates with the story of 5. So we're going to do the retro review of Fast and Furious 5. Talk about that a little bit, go into that. And, that's the next episode. If we could have anybody now, if you're saying like connected to that podcast, if we could have someone in that podcast,
Vin Diesel.
You said it had to be alive.
Family.
I
think I had an idea who you might have thought about, but they had to be alive.
They had to be alive. If it could be anybody, man, fuck, you already know who would be. A Logan Paul
for
Walker,
sure.
Man, rest in peace to him.
The dog, the real one.
The real one. But out of the Fast and Furious franchise, just for that particular podcast, if I could have somebody in there.
I think Tyrese is entertaining as fuck.
No, I don't like Tyrese.
I
don't like Tyrese in real life. I like Tyrese.
What more do you want from me?
What more do you want from me?
Hey, we don't bully around here, man. You can be vulnerable, Tyrese.
I love Tyrese. I do. That's me, though.
Tyrese trying to get vulnerable with that judge. And
oh, my gosh.
And with that whammy.
All right, so not Tyrese.
Not Tyrese.
Man, The Rock would be dope because we always be joking about The Rock on the podcast. Like, we done said some kind of heinous shit, but not as heinous as we said about Vin Diesel. Like, I think if Vin Diesel played back my podcast, he'd probably want to throw hands with my co-host and myself probably. But The Rock, like even though we clown on The Rock too, but it's always good jest, and it's like it's always in like. We always keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he puts out a stinker, we're going to say that it's a stinker. But when he does great, and The Rock is phenomenal. And I would love to, like, hear him just, like, pick his brain on certain things, like his choices and things like that. And then plus, like, we have this joke on the podcast where we say things that, like, The Rock would say. And we got this thing where, like, we came up with this phrase. That's just how the syrup hits the pancakes, because we feel like that's something that The Rock would say in a movie.
That is a Rock saying.
Like, it would be like something like he'd be like a special agent in the movie, right? But he'd have a daughter, right? And the daughter would want to go out, and he'd be like, "You gotta be home by 10, honey." And she'd be like, "That's not fair." He'd be like, "That's just how the syrup hits the pancakes."
Yeah, true.
That was perfect.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man, that's what I do. Unless you're gonna ask me something like movie related, like what kind of movie would I like to make? That we be sitting all day, but
Well, I did have a off-topic conversation.
Go into it.
Again, we're just spinning back. First, I'll ask you, who's somebody you think is like underrated in your industry, but you see them like, you know what I'm saying? Like they have greatness in them, but for whatever reason, they're not getting the recognition.
Well, right. Well, the person I would say right now is starting to get the recognition a little bit by little bit. Kenny Mason. That boy right there. He in the industry right now. He's like part of I would say he's in the J. Cole region and in the music game now. Like what I mean by that is like you know how there's three branches. There's like three branches of music. You got the Drakes, you got the Kendrick Lamars, you got the Coles and stuff like that. And like those would be the three heads of hip hop at this current moment type deal. Like
you don't think there's any more branches?
There's there's more branches. Like we're gonna have the NBA YoungBoy. Like those are gonna be like the new cats coming up. But but what I'm saying is like these are pretty much you can call these guys like father of hip hops pretty much at this very moment. Like they branched out enough and they have done enough work where they have their own branches.
I damn near think you got to put NBA YoungBoy up there.
With Drake.
With Drake. I mean, like his following is becoming heavy.
Like, his following is
it's
crazy,
becoming
bro.
heavy right now. But he's not at that level where he's not at that level yet. He's not at that level yet, but he's getting there. Like his following is becoming ridiculous. His music is becoming like very attaching. The man is very versatile. He was on Tyler's album doing an R&B song. No one even thought of ever seeing that coming or anything like that. Yeah. So I'm not gonna disagree with him or anything like that. But at this very current moment, when it comes down to those big boy hitters, right now, those would be like the three, and then like you're gonna have someone definitely yell out NBA YoungBoy. You're definitely gonna have someone yell out Herbo. You're gonna definitely have like Chief Keef be yelled out. You're gonna have Florida Rick Ross.
Not currently.
Well, this is the also thing that I'm not speaking of like. I can't say nothing on the now.
What was your
question?
question?
What I'm saying? Like, but the question is I'm just saying I was painting on where Kenny Mason is lying on the totem pole, pretty much of like his success of where he's not being recognized like that. This man is like a musical genius, bro. He's found a way to like mix rock, hip hop, and punk, and make it to me tasteful, very tasteful, and it's like one of his tapes is called Angelic Hood Rats, and like it's just deep dive of music beautifulness. Like he's really underrated. The man did a tape with him and his gang only, got the numbers really outstanding. Then he did a tape with like big featured artists, and then he then he went back to his homies, just him and his homies, and did the same exact numbers when he did the tape with the featured with artists. And then when he did that, he was also like featured on JID's The Forever Story. He was featured on that. He was featured on a couple of Cole's new stuff, a couple songs with Cole in that. The man's in the mix heavily right now, bro. And like light is starting to be shined on him very soon because he's ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll go check him out.
But I'd have to say Kenny Mason.
I did have 2-part question for you. One, do you think sports movies are good? And 2, what is a good sports movie?
Ooh,
I think sports movies are good. I think they can be good. I think that a lot of them can like fall into like cliche things. I think this is just my opinion. Of course, it's all subjective. But I think that like if the driving force of the movie is the sport itself, I think then it'll fail because it's generic. Like for instance, Love and Basketball, correct? It's a sports film. Basketball is at the center of it, but at the center of it is a love story.
Romance.
Without that love story, be a generic story about 2 basketball players. Right. So you need that. That's the main quality of it. So you look at a story like Coach Carter, which like you got this basketball team, but the story is about like this guy trying to help these young boys be young men.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like I think it can be good, but it has to be the central point of it can't necessarily be the sport. You know what I mean? Now sometimes it can be. Sometimes it can be because when you watch a movie that's about like maybe about boxing or something like that, and it gets into like the realm of boxing and like the mentality of it and like how the fighters are treated, fighter pay or whatever. If it gets into all of that, it can get into or like how about I'll give you an example. This is maybe not a sports movie, but a film like Concussion. Where it's like we're discussing CTE and things of that nature. They're talking about the sport, but it's really not about the sport. You know what I'm saying? It's really about a much more serious issue. So I think there are good sports movies, but I think they're usually not about centrally the sport itself. That's usually.
Well, I just want to say this too, and they were talking about it on the 3Geeks'N'APod. I was asking you, do you think sports movies could be good, and which one do you think?
Which one?
Like,
is
I was gonna ask, like, which one do you? What do you think is a great?
But
good sports movie?
I did have a follow up.
Man, what's a good sports movie? Off the top of my head.
Shit, 11 basketball was pretty good to me. But
that was a pretty good one. Remember, I'm
gonna say Ali.
You know, it's crazy. I need to watch that.
You haven't seen Ali?
No, I have not. Actually, when I saw that he was actually
Oscar-worthy performance from Will Smith.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when I saw that was one of his like on his movies list. I was like, bro, when did Will do this? I had
you gotta be incredible to play Ali too.
I had no idea about it whatsoever. So I definitely have to get my hands on it. Yeah. I would love to see that. It's Will.
He had the speech pattern down, the mannerisms.
You know what's funny?
Everything.
When you asked me the question about who I would like to have on like for the voicing,
yeah.
if you said dead or alive, I was gonna say Ali.
Nigga, that'd be hard. But yeah, that was too far. But
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like no doubt.
Ali probably say some wild stuff too, man.
Exactly.
You was a wild boy. Like once you get to like reading about him.
Let me ask you a question. Let's throw you one.
Yeah.
Let's ask you something. So.
Oh, before you ask me this real quick, I'm going to drop the Melancholy line. This is our first edition on HaddisCollection.com. Y'all go check that out. Go follow all my stuff, Stories about a Vigilante, and I'll let you ask your question.
Okay. And my question is, if you had the ability to be a superstar in any sport, which sport would you choose?
If I had the ability to be a superstar in any sport, which would I choose?
What you say you are a superstar.
So
that's tough.
No
I think, man, I want to say basketball, but at the same time,
if you want to play with LeBron James, glazing is great. No, I'm just kidding.
But I probably say golf.
Like, that's crazy. That is awesome.
I don't think.
That is
obviously
awesome.
Tiger is the standard bearer for brothers and things like that, and he created an avenue for other people to slide up in there. So I could be the new star in that, and people don't really know how much golfers make. Golfers make a lot of money on their purses. I can travel a lot, see the world. It's not as much pressure as like an NBA star. Like you're not gonna go on First Take or Undisputed and seeing them talking crazy about me as a golf star. Which I don't mind the scrutiny, but at the same time, I know that junk probably sucks sometimes.
What's his face is a golfer now, bro?
Stephen Curry?
No, he used to play with Heat.
J.R. Smith.
Thank you. I said Heat. I meant Cavs.
He played in college.
Him and Ben Baller, bro. Homie Ben Baller is the one that made like Tyler the Creator's chains. Like he's a very famous like jeweler.
Mm-hmm.
Now he got out the jewelry game, bro. He just solely golfs, bro, and like they be racking in money, bro. Like there's a lot of sponsorships in it, so like bro, it's a good sport, bro. Like,
do they live stream it? How do they?
Like golf is like one of those ABC family type things.
Bro. Yeah,
that's
what I was
it's like
thinking
it's
too,
always friendly. Like you don't really. I'm not gonna say that phrase, but it's really friendly and like the sponsorships behind it is ridiculous.
What do you guys think if Ja was a famous golfer and he was doing this stuff? Like, what would be the reaction? Like
the Tiger
Woods
reaction.
It'd be the same thing?
What's this guy on?
Like, yeah, it'd be even worse. It'd be worse. Why is he grabbing that stick? He should be grabbing the putter.
Right. He's grabbing the wrong stick. He's the wrong stick.
Yeah.
No.
You gonna shoot the balls in? What's wrong with him?
With the club, buddy, not the stick with the switch. Please.
Oh my God.
Watch out, Jamal.
Please, Jamal, don't hurt us. Jamal, please. Well, you got anything else first, buddy? We got it. It's.
I understand, but again, it was great. You guys want to shout out your socials?
Oh yeah, you can find me on IG at RIPVVTides, or my website as well, ripvvtide.com. All the music is there, videos are there, store coming soon as well. A lot of future merch laying out. Got some artwork in the way as well. Oh, you can also follow the game, my music group's page as well, XNVIX, on all social media, _XNVIX_. thank you for having me for it as well, buddy. You know,
for sure.
You can listen to 3 Geeks in a Pod on Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, basically wherever you listen to podcasts. That's 3 Geeks in a Pod spelled correctly on TikTok. Let's do this. Sun JG S0 in JG S0 in JG. That's me on Instagram. The 3 Geeks in a Pod Instagram is on there. I can't remember it right now. I'm so sorry. But you go on there and you'll find it. You'll find us anywhere you want to listen to podcasts. Failed attempts presented by 3 Geeks. Failed attempts presented by 3 Geeks in a Pod coming soon. Yeah, that's it, man.
For sure. I'm gonna have that in the description for y'all to go follow them, check out their stuff. This was fun. I appreciate it. Y'all check back in. Let us know if you disagree or just have some banner in the comments. It was a good one.
That is the word.
That is what it is.